Today is a good day to talk about three laws. Three laws that I like to follow because they help me out. And they are non-resistance, non-judgment, and non-attachment. These are laws that are very useful when you apply them to your everyday life, because there's gonna come, well, there always will come situations where they're not easy to deal with, and these laws will help you out. So let's start off with the first one, non-resistance. What does that mean? To not resist. Alright. To not resist what? That's a good question, right? Well, whatever situation arises. And so some examples would be like, let's say you get fired. Or let's say you get cheated on. Or you're the woman, the relationship that you thought was gonna last forever just ends out of nowhere. Or you didn't get picked for the soccer team or whatever sport you play for. And whatever. Or someone in your family screamed at you, or you got in trouble. So to not resist, what happened? Because let's say you do resist it. Let's say the relationship is over, right? And you're like, no. You if you resist it, you're like, no, that's not true. That can't be. You go up to her, you're like, no, I'm not gonna accept it. And so you suffer. You suffer because you're holding back to something that already happened. And that's an issue. Because you always have to be in the moment. And the moment that you stop living in the present because you're trying to get something back that's already gone away, well, that gap between the present and whatever you're holding back is going to create suffering. So resisting what already happened, it limits you to the freedom of peace, limits you the life that you deserve. And now let's talk about non-judgment. To not judge. Well, they say those that judge are really judging themselves. And judging is insecurity. Because if I were to judge someone, I'm like, look what he's wearing or look what she's wearing. It looks hideous. I would basically be saying that if I were to be in that position, I would feel insecure. That I would feel like other people are judging. And that's what happens. You can't judge because everybody has their why. And it doesn't have to be justified, You gotta let people be, because if you're so worried about what other people are doing, like let's say you're with your friends and you see someone's story, and you're like, look at this dude, look what he's doing. Or girls would judge other people, other girls, like, oh, look at her makeup, or look at this, examples, whatever. They're really judging themselves, Those that judge are really insecure, and you have to let that go. You have to let that insecurity go. You have to let other people be free so you can be free. Because if you're so worried about other people, you have no time to take care of yourself. And lastly, the last one is non-attachment. Everything, and I mean everything, is not yours. Nothing will ever be yours. Your body, even though you say your body, is not yours. You have a soul, and that's all you have. You are a soul. Everything else comes and goes. It's a way of life. It's the water cycle, if you want to see it that way. But sometimes it just doesn't come back. Because let's say you attach yourself. Well, when you attach yourself, you're basically saying, I am this. So let's say I attach myself to a woman. That's one of the easier forms of attachment that people fall into easily, because they're like, oh, this is my one, I'm nothing without her. Alright, so what happens when you break up? What happens when things go south? Does that mean you're not whole anymore? Just because you lost, or does that mean that a part of you has gone away? Not really, but if you are attached, that's what you would think. You're like, no, I can't live anymore. I can't because I am not myself. I've lost a part of me. Or let's say, oh, someone took your phone. You're like, my damn phone, my phone. It's not yours. It was never yours. It was in your possession, and you had information about yourself on that phone. You had contacts and whatever you needed on that phone, but it wasn't yours. So now once someone steals it, well, it's not yours. And let's say you're attached to the phone. You know you're gonna be complaining. You're gonna be like, no, how would they take my phone away? Like, why would they do such a thing? And then you're gonna be mad. You're gonna be like, nah, my phone. I want my phone back. Let's say you're gonna be pissed because now you have to pay for a new one. Well, that example doesn't really work that well. Anyways, just don't be attached to anything. Like your house. It's not your house. That's where you are right now, but let's say the house burns down. Oh well, the house burned down, What can you do about it? That attachment is what creates a lot of suffering, because at one point, 100% at one point, it will go away. Just how your body's going to rot. And I say your body, but remember, nothing's yours. So, another thing, non-attachment to the way you look. And it's happening a lot, and you're going to see it change. No, you're going to see it increase. So with cosmetics, we try to maintain the way that we look because we're so egotistical, we're so insecure that we don't want our bodies to change. Like, let's say right now, I'm so fit. I got nice skin. But at one point, I have saggy skin. At one point, I won't be able to work out the way I am right now. I won't be able to walk up mountains. I won't look as good. It's what you tell yourself. Well, so be it. It's the body. The body's gonna rot. Everything grows and everything dies. These trees. They don't suffer when they lose all their leaves, because it's just part of life. They're not crying. They're not like, I wish I still looked like the way I did during spring when I had all my nice flowers. And so back to this way that humans, the way that we want to look. We want to look perfect. So when you get older, you do Botox, or you do a boob job, or shoot, I don't know. Like at one point, I wanted to do a nose job because I thought I had a big nose. And I mean, sure, I do, but I don't give a fuck. It's whatever. It's just accepting the way that you are, and the way that the body's gonna change, the way that you're gonna get older, and things change, and that's what you have to accept. So yeah, I feel like people need to stop attaching themselves to this glamorous look, or this nice house, or their phones, or anything. Just anything. Nothing is yours. Everything is part of the universe. Everything is shared. Everything comes and goes, and we just have to live with it. Because if you don't live with the universal laws, you will suffer. And I don't want you to suffer. I don't want to suffer. I want peace, and I want everybody to be good. So follow those 3 laws: non-attachment, non-resistance, non-judgment, and I promise you, it will help you. Peace.